Because yeah, I made it, but honestly it was like 5 minutes of work. Emis was so easily satisfied. Like I gave him the option to like do the thumbnail in a more sophisticated manner. But yeah, he was so easily satisfied. Made it super straightforward. So, but now the hole is here. But going 4 blocks over from the hole? Is that where I need to be if it's this layout? Well, not here. I need to go down. Down 2. 4 over from the hole. I just dropped my chest plate. That is insane. Kira! 34 months! Oh my god. Oh my god. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Like, I know, Choke. I know you were still, like, actively subbing and stuff, but I totally understand that you have moved on in life. And you're not that active in the streams anymore. I'm not expecting you to be. It's just crazy that you're still here. Thank you so much. Close to 3 years. That's insane. Hey, Kira. I just never forget how excited you were for my, like, speedruns and stuff. And a lot has happened. I'll be here till the end. You absolute legend. You absolute legend. Yeah, if you're looking for something to watch that is rather recent, that you will very much enjoy, I don't know if you already saw the latest video on the Cheated Inventory Challenge, the 14th episode. I'm currently working on the 15th episode already. There is a lot that you have contributed to as well in that episode. So, it would just mean the world to me if you actually checked it out. And also, my latest video currently is my very first, like, all advancements speedrun after a long time. It's an hour long. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. Because I'm just so sad that you're... Yeah, I'm just so sad that you're missing out on a lot of the speedrunning stuff right now. Because literally today, I continued an all advancements run in the latest version that could have been below 10 hours, which places me, like, 4th or 5th place on the leaderboard. There's a lot more people that ran the version now. It's definitely a lot more difficult, but a sub 10 hour time is like my dream time for this version. And I was pretty close to getting that with the run I had today. Or that I kind of continued today. I was pretty close to getting that. And I just miss your excitement during... Oh, I'm also completely offset. I completely miss your excitement kind of during these AA streams. Because you should not hear that much anymore. Try to understand. But yeah, I'll try and get the most important runs out as a video format. I still need to make the proper command for the document and everything, but yeah. It's basically a new series that I call Complete Them All, where I have all kinds of speedrun challenges that I want to kind of put in that series. There's no, like, ordered structure with, like, this being episode 1, this being episode 2, not really. There's no ordered structure, but I'm still treating it as a series, and thus it has its own playlist. And that's the very first episode of that series, and I'll reveal the challenges as we go. But the document currently only shows the challenges that are already kind of obvious. One chest, obviously, because it's the split part. Nothing, man. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. And obviously, it's so crazy. Sure, Kira, I actually, at this point, died twice in this world. I don't even know how much you know about that. Also, one time, fairly recently, when I was pretty much at 0-0 still in the coordinates, so I did start over, but I died twice now. And this is kind of my redemption arc now. If I manage to get to the 1 million, 1 million, without it happening again, then I think I can prove worthy again of being 5-eye! 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 Oh my god. Okay, that's crazy. Because these commands also represent the in-game chances of happening of getting a 5-eye, and a 5-eye is incredibly rare. Give me the 6-eye. We need it so bad. We haven't had a 6-eye yet. Yeah, this is the front part, so I need to be here. Why that gas? You are annoying. I got the head, but it's gone. How am I doing though? You're not gonna like hearing this, but literally worse than ever. What can I say? I am living on 2 painkillers per day. It's like 6 independent doctors that are working on this now. There's really only one theory that sticks to me right now that actually makes sense. I'll try and give a lengthy explanation, or a lengthy update. Now that you're here, I'm incredibly excited. Let me quickly focus up for this bastion, because after all, it's the most difficult structure in the game. And, I should have learned my lesson at this point. Where are we? I still need to go further. One further. Right here. Block it off. We go here. Place that. Oh, I can't break it. I'll give you an update in a second, though. Like, I'll live. But yeah, I'll start yapping again when I'm out of this bastion. Oh yeah, we'll also be able to look at the statistics of how many spawners I've broken at the end. This guy should be able to get to me. It's one chest, because it's the cage. I thought the stream was getting it. Okay, +4. Sick. Another ingot. Some good bastions lately. Okay, light durability is suffering a little bit. Okay, I'll quickly go to the bathroom, and then I'll try and really give you a lengthy explanation, Kira. I'm glad you can stay in the stream for a while. This makes me really, really happy. I also want to know, like, how your life has been going. I'm definitely very, very curious on some of the updates on your side as well. I'll be right back, and then I'll try my best to explain it. Don't worry, I'll be fine. But yeah, it's a bit strange. I didn't even notice, but we got another mod here. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, OK is modded as well. Pretty sure you know OK. He doesn't want to be VIP, could be VIP like 4 times at this point. But very, very trusted. And super smart. Okay. Kira, let me know if you're here. Because I'll start from the beginning. Because, I mean, I don't really have much to talk about. I only have to go quiet and, like, focus up during the treasure bastions. But other than that, this is hopefully a fairly chill stream. Ready. Okay, so it all starts. It was this diving thing. You probably remember the clips I shared from the Croatia trip back in September last year. It's more than a year ago, and I shared the Croatia trip. I shared the diving experience. And I had the nosebleed after, right? And so, I mean, my dad noticed something was off. I noticed something was off. Even on that day, I felt like kind of dizzy a lot and just didn't have perfect sense of balance, all that stuff. And, well, I didn't think much about it because, you know, at that point, I was still this Linus that didn't really like going to doctors. Sure, previously I had the, you know, wisdom teeth thing. I had the, military stuff. Well, the military stuff, that kind of sorted itself, I guess. I was never really treated for any of that. But yeah, it was the wisdom teeth thing where, like, the infection started, and I'm pretty sure that might still be a catalyst for everything that happens now. Even though there's no pain in that specific region anymore. Like, so the wisdom tooth thing, that's far gone. But I feel like with the constant treatment of that infecting, my body was already, like, weakened in a way. Even though September was far later. Like, it was like 4 months later than... Or I should say like 2 months later than when the wisdom teeth thing kind of settled. So, like, all the wisdom teeth stuff settled, everything seemed to heal up properly, and then like 2 months later, I think, we had this holiday in Croatia. Okay, we already have the next question here. Sorry to constantly pause. But yeah, basically, it took me like a week to go to the doctor because I thought it wasn't really anything severe, but I just noticed that it stayed. Kira, you might already be smarter than 3/4 of my doctors. I will get to that. I will get to that. But that is unfortunately a diagnosis I received a year later. But that took a bit of a spoiler away. It's, we spoiled the movie. The script writers were working on it, but now it gets spoiled. No, don't worry. That is... You're smart. I'll get to that. I'll get to that. You're very, very smart. Dang, why are you not my doctor? Okay, anyways, let me quickly focus up. I'll be right back. I'm kind of hoping for a bit of a pause in between. A bit of a longer pause in between the treasure bastions right now. Okay, man! I thought I was so ready to break that spawner. Gold hammer's still fine. That's just unhinged. Yeah. So, I did go to the doctor, like, mid-September. Catch you later, MT. I did go to the doctor, like, mid-September. And then I received this, like, sinus infection diagnosis, right? And so I was sent to Dr. E. I called Dr. E the nose, ear, throat, neck doctor. I don't really know how to call him. I'm so bad at the lingo. Basically, that's Dr. E. That is like a specialist for this specific region. Then later on, we'll have Dr. N, who is the neurologist. And then we'll have Dr. U. Dr. U is another universal doctor who is the absolute GOAT. But he gets introduced a lot later. I'll do some character introduction again later. It's a little confusing, but I just want to be able to name the doctors without obviously revealing their actual name. And it just sounds absolutely epic. Are we fine? Is there another brute? No, I would hear it. Double ingot! When are we gonna get the triple ingot, though? When are we gonna get the triple ingot? Oh, I need to be careful about the elytra durability. It's actually kind of scary. I might put on this one instead right now. Okay. So we continue. So, basically, I received the, like... How do you call that in English? Basically, I got sent to the... to Dr. E, like, mid-September. I feel like there's something missing of the story. However, I didn't take it super seriously because I received some medication already. Like, this doctor isn't super relevant, but I received some medication already. And so, like, there was just a massive gap. Uni started, and then I didn't have, like, crazy symptoms. So, it all kind of meant that I postponed going to the doctor a lot, because that was still a point where I didn't really like going to doctors, right? It was this annoyance and the time that I didn't really have, and one of my big weaknesses is that I don't really care about my health that much. I kind of just try to make the best out of it and think that it would go away by itself, right? Like, that's kind of my thought back then. And so October passed, November passed. Oh, we have another one. What is going on? Can I just talk, please? So October passed, November passed, December passed, and then January was where the pain started to kind of like become more severe. Like those 3 months that I mentioned previously, pain wasn't that bad. It was very, very livable. So I didn't bother much. It was still this kind of, at this stage where I thought, yeah, it would go away by itself, right? However, where are we in the machine here? Very quick focus. I'm kind of annoyed by how many treasures I'm getting. I'm never getting the treasures when I actually want them, but now I'm getting them when I don't want them. Okay, that's the stair. This is really... Where am I? Am I on the side of it? That makes sense, actually. But basically, I waited really long to actually arrange an appointment. I'm so far to the side. What the hell? I actually waited so long until I actually arranged an appointment for Dr. E. But basically, I'm on the wrong side. I'm straight up on the wrong side. Yeah, I am. No, I'm not. What? But basically, it was January, and then it was like the toughest part of uni, because that's where all the exams are. And so, I knew I had to make an appointment, because pain was getting severe. I knew I had to make an appointment, but I decided against it because of just uni being more important, I guess. And this is like a massive, massive, massive mistake, because even though my pain was getting severe and I knew I had to make an appointment now, I waited, like, literally an entire additional month until, like, the 12th of February or something, until my entire uni was completely done just to arrange the appointment. Because my brain was like, yeah, no, uni is more important than your health right now. Which, obviously, it isn't. But I just couldn't find the time to even do a phone call, man. Like, yeah, whatever. So I didn't arrange anything until February, so that's when it started going. However, pain was getting so severe at the point that I actually went to the hospital during the semester holidays? No, I think it was actually Easter holidays. It was 1 week of holidays, yeah. During the Easter holidays, I actually went... Like, that was end of February, beginning of March, I believe, along those lines. I went to the hospital because pain was getting so severe that I couldn't even wait for the appointment at Dr. E that I arranged. So, like, mid-February I arranged the appointment, but my appointment was, like, a week after the, Easter holidays. And I thought, like, of course, I want to have, like, relatively enjoyable Easter holidays. So I decided, yeah, I want to go to the hospital sooner. Because, heck no, I would love to enjoy parts of the holidays without pain. Double chest, let's freaking go. And so, I actually went to the holidays, to the hospital before even... Scrap, let's go. Before even bothering about the Dr. E appointment, because it was just getting too severe and I just couldn't wait for Dr. E. The good thing, though, I got a general direction from the hospital, and it then lined up with what Dr. E said independently. And so I thought, okay, that was good. That was good. They gave me some, like, nasal sprays. They were basically thinking it's like a sinus infection. So they gave me nasal sprays. They gave me, like, a way to clear my nose. I still do that, like, pretty much every day. But at this point, I think it's more like a placebo thing, but then anything else, whatever. Basically, they gave me, like, nasal sprays, all kinds of different nasal sprays that would, like, some have etheric oils, some have, special cortisone, I think you call it, that, like, goes against swollen symptoms, right? And, like, I went through all kinds of nasal sprays, but ultimately, the combination of nasal sprays and the special salt water treatment that should clear your nose made it so too frequent use actually caused me to have, like, inner bleeding. And so I had to reduce on the medication. Welcome back, MT. I had to reduce on the medication that I was taking, mainly the nasal sprays, because they were actually destroying more than they would help. They were helping. So I was basically suffering more than before because the only medication wasn't helping. And that, in addition to... So, I have to go back a little bit. Basically, at the hospital, I received this, like, etheric oil spray, and then a cortisone spray later on. Or, I think, no, I received kind of both. Or was it first? I'm not sure. Anyways, one spray I received at the hospital was a cortisone spray, and that, when I got close, like, 1 week before the, first appointment at Dr. E, I had to actually stop taking that cortisone spray because it was mentioned in, like, the rules of the doctor's office, whatever you call it. It was mentioned in the email that I shouldn't take cortisone a week prior because that could mess with certain ways they test you, right? So, like, I had to stop taking the cortisone spray. And that was actually before it got bad. I had to stop taking the cortisone spray because it said so in the email of Dr. E. And so that was, like, the first very, very miserable week of my life. Not being able to take the medication. Because at that point, it still helped, right? Because the main diagnose I received early on is they thought, like, sinus infection. And what I know for sure is that my, like, nose, my right part, is, like, slightly thinner because this central thing is like a septum deviation. They thought, like, because of that I would have less, like, airflow through the nose and that would cause the main headache, but the pain is here, right? And yeah, and then I know that the connection between my ears and, like, my mouth basically is swollen. That's still up to this point. Like, that's why they mainly gave me cortisone spray. But basically, for Dr. E, I could use that cortisone spray, and so that made it, like, the most miserable week up to that point. And anyways, at Dr. E, hi, Fortress, I basically received a similar diagnose with similar medication treatment stuff and things as from the hospital, which was good. Because I had now the hospital diagnose and I had the Dr. E diagnose and it all kind of lines up. And so I thought that was good. However, the Dr. E then wanted to do some more sophisticated, like, x-ray stuff, right? And so basically, it's a pretty tall fortress. No, it's not super tall. Basically, God, let me take a sip here. Dr. E is like the ear, nose, neck, throat doctor. Hals, Nasen, Ohrenarzt, as we would say in German. I just don't know how you call it in English, and I can't be bothered. That's Dr. E. Basically, he then sent me to have a CT scan, and that's a special X-ray technique. It's not an MRI scan. It's supposedly better for these kind of things. I couldn't tell you the difference between MRI scan and CT scan, but whatever. The CT scan, I had to wait. No joke, I had to wait more than 3 freaking months for that CT scan. And obviously, I had to constantly get, like, nasal sprays because they were, like, running out. So I had to contact Dr. E, like, twice in between that to get, like, new nasal sprays, but they were, like, getting more and more problematic during that, right? And so I had to, like, reduce on the amount of consumption of the nasal sprays down to, like, every 3rd day or so. And, well, that CT scan, the annoying thing is, though, that, it's not treasure, that I could have paid money to do this CT scan pretty much right away. Because I had the CT scan in the actual hospital, whereas you could do the CT scan in, like, the same building where an MRI scan happens as well. But you'd have to, like, pay, because it's, like, private insurance thing. In hindsight, I should have paid the money to get that CT scan immediately. MRI is magnetic fields. Oh, it's just, like, X-ray? Okay, that's, yeah, fair. Whatever. Dr. E praised the CT scan, and it would, like, see everything, and it would be all good, and would be all handy-dandy. Basically, I had to wait until the 26th of June. That's the date I vividly remember. Where's the other part of this, Bastion? I don't know what the back and what the front of this is. I assume... Oh god. Stretching? I can't see the other part this way. Oh wait, I do. No, it's this way. Okay, yeah. So the back is this. Good. But basically, the CT scan was on the 26th of June 2024, and that was after a 3 whole month. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. And that was when, like, the nasal sprays kind of lost their effect and even worsened the entire situation. Yeah, so obviously all my hope was on, yep, this CT scan, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna find out everything. Okay, CT scan. I'll talk again soon. So we're in 26th of June right now. That's the day we're speaking of. I'll be right back to the story. Oh, I need to go way further to the right. Oh god, that's below the brute. Is that 1 over? That's 1 over. Why is there a hoglin there? Oh well, I can trick it the same way as the brute. That would be fine. Okay, go here. A single chest. Nothing. Such. Okay, 26th of June, I had my MRI scan after, like, the longest 3 months of my life. Basically, though, there's no way I can continue from there, I think. I don't want to risk it. Put this on, put the apples back. Yeah, I think we're fine. Okay, then, obviously, the CT scan didn't reveal anything. What a surprise. So, that was that. Then Dr. E was kind of hopeless and sent me over to the neurologist. Which, hey, it seemed like a good idea. It seemed like a good idea because maybe it could be something with the nervous system, maybe it could be something with the brain. You gotta check everything, right? And so, I'm being sent to the neurologist. Let me introduce Dr. N. That's a neurologist. Basically, Dr. N, seems like a really cool doctor. Still is a really cool doctor. Because he really sat down with me for, 45-ish minutes. And I was able to, give him a full rundown of the entire situation. Big emphasis on, the diving thing. Because I know for a fact that's what's caused it. But basically, I felt very understood. Because it was the first time where I really had a doctor that listened to the entire story. So I thought, okay, this doctor now knows all I know pretty much. I'm sure he's gonna give me something useful and he'll be able to do a proper diagnose. So then I got an appointment. So it was just an appointment for the situation at first, which felt good. To just talk my mind off and say everything that's kind of been annoying me, been bugging me out. And then I had another appointment arranged 1.5-ish weeks later, not super long, not super long time difference. Oh, this is a treasure? It is. Where am I, though? That's going this way. I'm on the side, so I should go to the back part of it. Or am I looping back around to the same one? Did I actually just manage to loop back around? No, right? Because I was going north a little bit, and then had to go back. No, it's a totally different one. Basically, the neurologist did a scan called EEG. It's a special type of scan where you have a net on your head and it measures neural waves, basically. And okay, let me quickly think. 1, 2, 3. It measures neural waves. And they also did tests with flickering lights and stuff. Which it all kind of made a lot of sense. I'll have to go further. So they were also checking for epilepsy and all that. So they were basically measuring my neural activity. And yeah, the main issue is that, or the main issue was that I had a training camp, I don't know, it was the first week of the summer holidays, so the first week of July or so. I had training camp, no, I think second week of July, sorry. Second week of July, I had training camp, and Dr. N would have offered me to do the EEG, this EEG, scan thing. He would have offered me to do it on Thursday during the training camp. But I thought, hey, I want to be there for the training camp, so I would take the appointment on the following week, Wednesday. Following week, Wednesday. This ended up being a massive, misdecision. Simply because I kind of ruined my leg anyways during the training camp. I had such a crazy muscle ache. Double chest again. So I should have just taken that appointment. However, I didn't. So I took the appointment the following week on Wednesday. Which, so stupid. Quickly check. Hog! 2 god apples in one stream. And only 1 god apple the entire time before that. Nothing else though, but 3rd god apple finally. But basically, I decided to take the appointment on the following Wednesday, which meant, I thought I would get the result of the scan, this EEG, right away. But no, we had to, I had to arrange another appointment to get the result. Right? Or he would contact me if anything bad stands out, which was Okay, so this is where it gets a bit complicated. Basically, the neurologist said to me, or the assistants that did the test with me, said, the neurologist is gonna look at it and tell me, and let me know, like, via a call, if anything, bad sticks out. And so, I resulted from that. I basically derived from that the neurologist is gonna look at the scan regardless of me having an appointment arranged or not. Or, the neurologist is gonna look at the scan before the appointment. Because there's a tendency with doctors looking at some scan for the first time at the actual appointment, but never before. Which kind of means they rush it a little more, it seems at least. So I thought, okay, the neurologist is gonna look at it before I would have an appointment. If there's anything serious, he would come back to me. The problem was, and this is where things get absurd, the problem was, I had my CT scan, I had my EEG scan, and the following week, the, like, doctor's office went into holidays. Not just for that week. Not just for that week and the following week. Not just for that week, the following week, and the third week. Well, no, actually, for the next 3 weeks. Sorry, I tried to make it more intense than it actually is. Yeah, so I had to wait an entire 3 freaking additional weeks to get a result of nothing. I even contacted, like, 2 other doctors that are, like, the replacement of that doctor for being in the holidays. Because the neurologists are, like, all kind of connected up, and so when one doctor's in holidays, you can kind of contact the other ones. I did that, but obviously the others don't have any access to the actual, scan. So, all I could do was literally wait for the full freaking 3 weeks. I'm really out of rockets, I need to quickly restock that. So for the full 3 weeks, I had to wait. Obviously, I was like, okay, now I'm gonna know. Now I'm gonna know. The neurologist has all the info. I know he's gonna know. Surely there's something. But, like, I was always in the back of my head, it was like, yeah, wait, he is gonna contact me though if anything serious is gonna happen, right? But not in holidays. So, I knew I had to wait the 3 weeks. Then after that, I had to arrange an appointment to just know that there's literally nothing. Found my enemy just having serious health problems, let's postpone that important appointment. Don't ever do that. If anything you can learn from this story is that freaking go to the doctor, get everything checked, even if you think that it is not related, and be happy about any diagnose. Because I'm pretty much still sitting here, 13 months later, without a diagnose. We'll get to that though. So, that was another 3 weeks gone, right, with nothing. Then a neurologist, well, unsurprisingly, found nothing. So he sent me, and this is where we kind of get to the present. The neurologist... Wait, am I missing something in the story? No. The neurologist... Hold up, what is going on? I'm actually kind of confused right now. Right, no. Now the neurologist says I should do... Wait. I'm missing parts of the story. I think I'm skipping something. This is weird. My brain. Oh. Would have pulled your answers sooner so hard had I known? Yeah, exactly. I can't control myself. I need people telling me that health is more important than anything else. I just can't control myself in that regard. I want to just push through with the stuff I enjoy and the stuff that I like devote my time to, much more than I would even ever bother about health. Where are we? Okay, I need to go a little to the left. Regardless, I think I'm missing something. Whatever. The neurologist is kind of done And he sends me back to... Thank you, Dogmaster. He sends me back to Dr. E, which that's present now. And now we get to the biggest plot twist of the century. And a very favorable plot twist. Let me introduce Dr. Yu. Yeah, that clip is kind of funny. Let me introduce you to Dr. Yu. Come on, Dogmaster, where do you have all these clips? How do you find them so quickly? Freaking cheater. Basically, though, this is where Dr. Yu comes in. He is a father, he's the father of one of my colleagues that I train with. And... okay, the chest is right there. Scrap. He's the father of one I train with, and he's a universal doctor. Hence the name Dr. Yu. He's a universal doctor. In my opinion, universal doctors are always like the smartest doctors because they kind of know about everything. And then they know about a lot of like detailed stuff in some regions as well. So I feel like specializing like a neurologist or specializing like an orthopedic doctor or whatever, it sometimes doesn't seem like there's enough like knowledge to be had in that specific field, that I think the universal doctor is always the kind of smartest one, because he just kind of knows about everything. And so, said dad of my friend that I trained with is a universal doctor, and I then actually arranged an appointment with him. You need to know that everything that happens with Dr. Yu happens really quickly. It's by far, the most motivated doctor I've had in my entire life. And so, he like arranged an appointment pretty much like 3 days later. The only thing is, it's a bit annoying for me to get to his office. Because it's by far the furthest away. But there has to be a downside on something, right? So basically, like, he first calls me. We arranged an appointment, like, 3 days later. And he already had, like, a diagnose from the email I sent to him. And from the info he had received from his son. Because I was obviously told his son some stuff as well. And from that email, he already gave me a diagnose, and now we get to the diagnose that is probably still the most meaningful. The Kessar sickness, the diver sickness, that you have already mentioned, and that's incredible that you've mentioned that. Because no doctor so far actually looked into the diving thing any deeper. Even though, as I mentioned, I put great emphasis on mentioning that that is what I think is the root cause of it all. And so I ended up receiving that diagnose. I obviously look up what is Kessar sickness. I use ChatGPT to kind of mix it with the symptoms that I have. Like, I just try to kind of use the technology that we have nowadays to just get some idea. ChatGPT does mention that the pain in this region is rather untypical for the Kessar sickness. But basically a little rundown. His theory was, yeah, from doing 3 dives and on the 3rd dive, at that depth, like the first 2 dives, I know they were fine, and I've done everything right, but what I wasn't quite aware of is that if you do such dives multiple times in a row, always going to a certain depth, the more dives you do, the more strain this puts in your body, obviously, but the more dives you do, even if you go back to the surface in between, the more dives you do, the longer you have to kind of spend on ascending on every consecutive dive. Which basically means the direction is this Bastion going? I hope this way. I can check from here. Where are we going? Yeah, okay. I had Basically, nitrogen. Becoming a doctor real quick, yeah, please. Basically, from the third dive, as an apnoe, like, dive, it's obviously quite difficult to actually hold your breath long enough to do a very, very slow ascent. And I thought doing these relatively quick ascents, well, I knew what I was doing, right? Like, I'm pretty aware of all the diving stuff that's going on. And I've watched a lot of diving-related content. So, I knew what I was doing, and I knew what I was doing for the first 2 dives. John, welcome in. God, I need to go further over. I need to be careful what I'm doing. Basically, though, nitrogen has formed as a result of too quick decompression. Like, ascending too quickly on the third dive. At least that's the theory. And those nitrogen bubbles that form in, like, the skin, and it's usually like the elbow and the knee that is mainly kind of susceptible to that pain. Why did you spawn, man? We're fine. So he also mentioned that it's rather untypical for this region, but it's still like the best theory, right? And so now the crazy part, though. That's the first diagnose before even going to him. And I'm like, okay, that's by far the most promising I've heard all day, or all year, simply because it actually has to do with the diving, and like it kind of makes sense. And so the thing now is that Dr. Yu, not even like a week later, arranged an actual appointment. No, like not even 3 days later, sorry. Arranged an actual appointment, and he did all kinds of checks. All kinds of checks. Like, checks that I waited multiple months for previously. Because in between all of this, I also had different, like, UV ray, like, I don't even know, like, even other scans that I don't even can put into context. Basically, Dr. Yu did all kinds of checks that would have taken forever. What is going on? Another god apple to do on other doctors. Yeah, it's ultrasound, I guess. Yeah. Ultrasound, yeah. Basically, he did that. He checked my lungs. On a second appointment, that is rather recent, he also checked my stamina. He checked for viruses as well. But on the previous appointment, he also checked my inner organs. He did like urine test. He did blood test, blood pressure, like everything you could wish for. Like everything you could wish for, which previously would have been 500 different doctors, but he just did all of it because he just knows all of it because he's the goat. So let's go around it, I think. And, well, not much has come out from his checks. However, he's just super motivated. He calls me whenever there's something new. Super personal. And he is most likely arranging an appointment soon at a decompression chamber, which is basically the way you would treat this. And I just want to mention this. I could have died from this. People... Okay, I mean, I dove like 10 meters. But there's severe cases of people diving like 20 meters and having like severe injuries. So this is something that should be treated like right away, right? But up to this point, it's not sure if that's exactly what I have. Anyways, he's super motivated, and like he got in contact with diving specialists and like a decompression chamber. So I'll most likely do that soon. It's like a 3-day treatment, I think. Basically, they simulate like the water pressure in like a decompression room, and you will like breathe 1%, 100% oxygen like pure oxygen. There. And then over a long period of time, like over multiple hours, you kind of decrease the pressure, and that will hopefully let the nitrogen kind of be transported away and breathed out through the blood. So that would be the procedure, but I'd stay there longer because there's like special diving specialists. So that's currently the plan. And I'm also awaiting... no, there's actually nothing I'm awaiting. Never mind, that's the entire story. So that's what I'm at right now. So basically... Oh yeah, no, where I'm at actually is... Dr. E sent me... Dr. N sent me back to Dr. E. Because I have an MRT scan of that region as well. That's something I completely forgot to mention. Yeah. Dr. N, that's the gap I was missing. Dr. N also said I should do an MRI scan of that region. Which has shown that there's like liquid forming in this region, which is definitely something contributing to the pain. It's not super crazy though, but basically after the MRI scan results, I'm now being transferred back to Dr. E. Which I feel like I'm kind of going in circles, but we'll see. And now Dr. U is kind of waiting for the result on Dr. E to then arrange the appointment at the decompression chamber. I kind of wanted to be sooner though, but whatever. Basically, I'm waiting for Dr. E. I was kind of hoping that the decompression thing would still happen before uni, but no. I'll obviously start my freaking third semester with the same freaking pain. Just worse. I had my entire uni with this pain already. But basically, yeah, Dr. U waits for the result of Dr. E now to arrange the decompression thing, and that's where I'm at. Independently, I'm also... I did have a PB, what? Look at the freaking silence? Where are we? 610 for silence. Oh, wow! That's a new negative PB. That's a new negative PB. Yeah. That's kind of the goat. He never let his pain stop. Yeah. Right. Yeah, 610 is insane. That gotta be the highest. Basically, independently of all of that, I have talked to somebody else from the gym that basically said he had some like weird headache going on, and after having some physiotherapy and like his spine corrected, that pain went away. However, I'm not talking about like regular headache, right? Like my scenario is quite different, and Dr. Yu also said that there's no nerves coming from the spine that would contribute to this kind of pain. So that's kind of out of the window. However, my body is all kind of not fair and square, so I do have physiotherapy now. Just check up on the spine and correct some things, also from sitting a lot. I just wanted to have physiotherapy, so independently of that, I had like 3 other doctors involved to finally get me physiotherapy, which is nice. So that's something I'm working on independently. Don't know if it will actually help, but I guess that's something I have going as well. I'm doing so much more than I would have done a year ago, because I just realized how bad things can be and how good it is if doctors are actually doing something. However, that doesn't really matter much. I have another MRI scan for the spine next Saturday when MCC Live, when MC Live is gonna happen. On that day, I will have the MRI scan, and on Friday, I'll have the appointment at Dr. E. I very much doubt that he'll have anything groundbreaking, because I don't think there's really much from the MRI scan. Whatever. It's just annoying that the decompression thing is not gonna happen before uni, because I'm gonna miss out on some uni stuff. I mean, gladly I'm working completely remotely for the uni thing, so I should be fine just having the laptop with me and some internet connection. Which will work. not gonna lose me that much time because of just how my uni works. I could honestly just travel around Austria if it wasn't for streaming and training. Yeah, and speaking of training, I mean, I've been doing the best I can, chugging painkillers and then training as much as I can. It's not really the healthiest approach, but not training is not making the situation better, if you know what I mean. So I just train as much as I can until the pain gets too severe, and I just have to stop. I'm still making very good progress on training, so what can I do? I'm making the best out of it, right? So, like, I can definitely train to a certain degree, and it wouldn't make sense to stay at home and not train, because it won't make the situation better. Better late than never, yeah, for sure. So I'm checking the spine, I'm checking, well, I'll have the doctor appointment at Dr. E at, like, the 26th of September, reference to the 26th of June, I guess, and then the MRI scan for the spine, which is not super important, but yeah, it's also something I've been kind of going on, or working on. But basically, that's gonna happen on the Saturday, blah blah blah. That's the thing so far. Will you miss MC Live? No, why? They're actually gonna be they're gonna do it twice a year. They're actually gonna be twice a year. And, oh, you mean because of the appointment? No, the appointment is, like, at noon. And MC Live is during the stream at 7 p.m. Like, 1 hour into the stream, MC Live is gonna happen. So, what am I doing? It's totally fine. It's gonna be perfectly on stream. Oh, that's... I think I should go further here. No, it's all good, it's all good. I'm actually gonna miss out on training, but for that day, I really don't care. Training is kind of a lot of suffering right now. Training isn't a lot of fun, despite the progress I'm making. Training is just full-on suffering right now. But it, like, doesn't make sense not to train. Because not training won't make it better. I need to keep my fitness. Otherwise, I'm completely lost. I would lose a lot of my sportiness. Why did you spawn? If I didn't have the training. And it works to some degree. I take 2 painkillers a day, which works semi-well. Like, last Saturday? Yeah, last Saturday. I mentioned that I took I took, like, 1 painkiller in the morning, 1 painkiller right after training, and then 1 painkiller before the stream. And that actually, like, that Saturday a week ago was the best day I've had in probably more than half a year. Because, like, I just can't take... Why did you spawn, man? I just can't take 3 painkillers a day right now, because I just wouldn't have enough painkillers. Because otherwise the painkillers would only last 10 days. If I take 2 a day, they last 2 weeks, because it's like 30 per package. Like, that Saturday was the best day ever. So, if I could, I would take 3 painkillers a week, a day. That would be, like, dream. Like, that day was really, really good. Sorry, Chan, for missing out on your messages. This is super important to get this off my shoulders. So, yeah. Like, right now, the pain is setting in again. I've also done this with, like, setting... I mean, my phone, my tablet, and all that is set to the night mode, or, like, the blue light filter. And I've also been doing that for the PC as well, on a pretty extreme level. That whenever I'm on the PC and not streaming, I also have, like, the blue light filter on. Yes, I wore that t-shirt on purpose, because of your celebration stream. And, like, whenever I'm not streaming, I turn on the blue filter on Windows on as well, just to make sure that it's actually not an issue with my eyes. It's not. I've been doing that for the past week, so that's also completely excluded. That's off the window. Off the shelf, I don't know what to say. So... yeah, that's the current standpoint. Basically, painkillers are my life insurance right now. What can I do? I can literally not do anything. I have, like, several different doctors involved. Plus the specialists, that are more focused towards diving. Which isn't so common in my region, right? Yeah, 10 a.m. for you. Yeah, that makes sense. It takes some protective stomach thing. I don't need that anymore. I feel like my stomach is so robust at this point. I just have a lot of, like, I just fart a lot. I'm not trying to, like, make this a joke. This is, like, not something I'm supposed to be, you know, silly of. It's a normal thing. But that's really it. I think I've pretty much... I've not had issues. I've not had stomach issues for a year now. Like, it's not an issue anymore. Yeah. You absolutely do? Wait, what is that you absolutely do referring to? South. Yeah, sorry, Chan, I'm gonna scroll up. I missed some stuff. Hello again, just wanted to say all is well, and I think it's awesome when you have a great stream. Awesome to hear that, awesome to hear that. Thank you so much, Chan. Thank you. Also, I love that creeper emote. Yeah. And... it's weird. Because as I said, as the MRI scan ended up showing, I have, like, weird liquid forming that kind of runs down my nose, or not my nose, but, like, the back of my nose, into my throat constantly. That's why I sometimes have to, like, pull up my nose a little bit, because it also runs into the nose, I guess, and so whenever I wake up, my nose is completely stuffed, and that's why I need to use this salt water thing to, like, clear my nose, and I still do that, like, every day, because that's literally the only thing I can do to clear my nose properly, at least in the morning. And so that's why it sometimes sounds like I have a cold, but, like, I don't. I have this for a month now, and it's just because of this literal what I have. We don't know what causes the liquids forming. I still think the diver's sickness is actually the closest call here. And what is very weird is that whenever I'm more tired, the pain is also more severe. But I guess that's just because my body is weaker, and so it has less protection against the pain. It's less resistance to the pain. So whenever I'm more tired, obviously the pain is worse. And I notice also, when I'm sleeping, it's a good thing, right? To breathe through your nose, because, like, the air is filtered and stuff, and so, like, breathing through your nose is generally a good thing, but I do that when I sleep. Whenever I breathe, but I don't do it consciously, I breathe through my nose, which is good, but again, that contributes to the pain. And so, yeah, it's, like, impossible for me to relearn a habit that I subconsciously do, and I don't want to relearn it because I hope when the pain is gone that I properly breathe through my nose as usual. That's where I'm at right now. I would love to consume 3 painkillers per day, but I can only do 2 because otherwise it just doesn't last long enough for the packaging, because the current packages are only 30. The previous one were 50, but I feel like I have I've basically become immune against the previous painkillers that I took well over 100 of. So obviously I became immune, and so I have a different painkillers now. Just got another pack of 30. It'll last me for like 18 days with like the 6 more that I have now. It sucks, that's my life insurance. I literally wake up with pain and I go to bed with pain. I cannot wake up without taking painkillers. I literally wake up, take painkillers, sleep for another half an hour, and then I'm like in a state where getting up is even feasible. Otherwise my body, with the pain here, forces me to go to bed. It's so absurd. Because it's like, it's a pain that kind of forces me to be tired. Like, I don't know, I don't remember feeling awake in well over a year now. Like, I don't know when I actually felt awake. I know I have good sleep, despite, like, breathing through my nose, right? But, like, I know I have good sleep. I sleep for longer than I actually need to. Like, today, I had a 6 hour sleep. In the morning, it felt good for, you know, the situation. Today felt good, and it was a 6 hour sleep. Well, 6.5, because, like, 6 hours 15. I think I only slept for, like, 15 more minutes after the painkillers. But, like, that's legit how I have to do it. But I slept well. And I know I sleep well. So, like, it's not that issue. It's not like I'm sleep deprived. I'm totally not. Sure, my sleep schedule is slightly questionable by how long I stay up, but I have my sleep. And yeah, I'm just basically excluding all the factors with the blue light, with the sleep deprivation. There hasn't really been any sleep deprivation, to be fair. I've had my sleep schedule, like, sort of there for the entire time that this pain has been going on. When you take a lot of painkiller, you really need to take something to protect your stomach. What can I say? I don't. And I feel perfectly fine. My stomach is perfectly fine. I don't know. I totally believe you. I'm not trying to tell you otherwise. I don't have issues. Not at all. I've had worse issues during, like, military, where a lot of, like, stomach issues arose. No, I don't know. I'm like, actually fine. I have to take painkillers a lot when I'm in a flare-up. Oh, didn't take anything to break my stomach. Had a stomach bleed. What? What is the main, like, chemical? The main Wirkstoff? Sorry, I don't know the English word. What's the main Wirkstoff? Because mine might be different. I can check for you in a second. I mean, that matters. It's the main, like, thing that does it. Reason why I have the other half of my nose is so stuffed and the allergies is basically dead. Oh god. Yeah. Oh, freak, I don't like being here. And it's just... Oh god. Okay. Honestly, I thought I would take more damage instead of falling for the clutch. Finally, man. To be fair, I think my stomach has just grown very resilient to painkillers. I really don't know. I really don't know. Active ingredients? Yeah, along those lines, I guess. Like, the main contributing ingredients that, like, does the pain reduction. It's always, like, one specific ingredient. That's different now on these, like, painkillers compared to the previous ones, obviously. That I've kind of grown immune to. And it's past 1 hour? Oh, dang. What is the most difficult advancement in 111? Like, I mean, I will have to do 111 all advancements. That is so crazy. That is so bloody crazy. These are... So, wait, let me grab both. Let me grab both. So, the ones I took more than, like, 100 of have... It says it right here. Dexibuprofen. Which is exactly what you're mentioning. Right, like, there. No, it's super small. Dexibuprofen. That is literally what you're mentioning. And I took like 100 of those. And the newer ones are, yeah, naproxen natrium. That's the newer ones. Like, I don't know. I actually don't know. Ugh. Probably the full beacon? Gotcha. I don't have any stomach pain or anything either. Regular use of painkillers. Stomach rupture and bleed. I mean, I did have pain when I had stomach bleed, but up until that, I didn't have anything. I mean, now I've switched painkillers, right? Like, now I'm gone from those. I have 3 from the ibuprofen ones still, but, like, those are not an issue. Anymore, because I've switched from them. Because they didn't help anymore. I've taken over 100. If anything severe is supposed to happen, then it should have happened. And, like... I mean, at the pharmacy, they should have... asked me about that? I'm actually not sure. Or maybe eating God apples, that would be so amazing. Oh, probably full being... oh yeah, you're still referring to Amish Run, okay. Gotcha. Wait, can you craft the God apple in that version? At what version can you craft it? Or do you have to craft it? Or how do you find it in that version? How do you actually find the God apple in that version? How do you get it? Dungeon? I assume, right? It's the only thing I can think of, actually. Oh god. Maybe talk to one of your doctors again, can't hurt. Like, yeah, for sure. I mean, Dr. Yu receives, like, everything I'm doing. I mean, okay, the spine thing, I'm not really giving Dr. Yu a lot of info on that because it's, like, not related to his knowledge. So the spine thing is independent, and just because I wanted to really have physiotherapy again, which I've achieved in a record time. From the appointment at the orthopedic doctor to my first physiotherapy appointment, literally 2 days. Literally 2 days in between, which is a dream. And also to have the MRI scan for the spine, like, 2 weeks later, is unheard of. Compared to the amount of time I had to wait so far for other things. Nachos pre 1.8, I got you. Yeah, I'll talk to Dr. Yu, and I'll talk to Dr. E when I have the appointment. Yeah, no, it's a good call, but I mean, now I've switched to the other, main ingredient. But that's true, though. But yeah, I didn't have any issues with that. Now from Temple in 1.11. Oh, Temple's right. At least I think it has the highest chance. Yeah, no, it definitely does. I mean, I think dungeons do exist, but temples... 1 in 10 temples is a pretty good rate. Especially for that pre-116 generation. World generation. 45% done, guys! 45%! Let's get to 50% today. Holy cow, please. Please. Dungeons do exist, yeah. Like they're a pretty early on thing. Couldn't tell you when they got added, but I think they're really early. $45 freaking percent. Both coordinates over 450,000. But yeah, let me know, Kira. You can always hit me up on Discord as well. I would love to hear from you there as well. I've missed you. I've genuinely missed you. Cause the yeah, some AA runs. I've done some speed runs, but you weren't there. I'm so sad. Very nice to see you again, though, and I'm incredibly happy to see you again in the stream and still supporting for so incredibly long. So yeah, I hope that update made sense. I know I jumped quite a lot because there's just so many doctors involved at this point. Things get a bit messy, but I hope that clears things up. I'm very ready to give you more details privately. Just, yeah, don't hesitate to ask. Reach out to me on Discord. I would love to hear about, like, how you're doing. How's life treating you as well? I mean, yeah, you've mentioned you're consuming painkillers as well. Incredibly sorry to hear that. feel free to kind of explain more what your situation is if you want. I am never gonna force you or anyone in the stream to mention something personal. Can't get to me. But I would just love to hear what your situation is. Hearing that you have to also use painkillers. Not a big fan of. Oh, you're back there. There we go. Dude, like 1,000 chests to find both in one is like so reasonable. Like I'm sure I looted more than 1,000 chests when I did a stack of recovery compasses. Like definitely. There's another one though, right? It's one chest as we know. Oh god. Ingot, perfect, +5. Where's my triple ingot? I better hope there's a triple ingot in one of the bastions we'll come across until the finish line.